Alright, Shalom. Welcome back to another video. And as always, before I get started, I would like to give all the praise, honor, and glory to the beloved Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to you, Akim, pushing His word and believing in His word, as well as you few sincere Akwath that are believing in His word. To you all I say Shalom, and may the blessing of election be upon your houses. It's your fellow servant Malachiah, back with another lesson. And as always, I pray be edifying to the Lord's elect. Alright, this is some out-of-pocket ass shit right here, man. See, this is why we need Yahweh Shai to come back and restore the order back in the earth, man. Alright? Because you can't undo generations of this bullshit like this, man. Adultery. This is why the Lord called this generation an adulterous generation, man. All right, we living in a day and age where adultery is just shrugged off, and we know that this is something that Jake would have got put to death for back in the ancient times, man. We know that Jake loved to glorify adultery. Jake put it all in the music. It's all in the TV shows. It's everywhere, man. Right? To the point where people have become numb to it, and committing adultery is like breathing to these niggas, man. But like I said, this is some out of line, out of pocket ass shit right here. This is a prime example of why fathers are needed in the household, man. And not just any father, not just any man, but a man of Yahweh Shai, Shai, man. All right, a righteous man who knows that his daughter is supposed to be given over to a righteous man. Not a man who's just gonna allow his daughter to do whatever, go wherever. Oftentimes, like what these women allow their daughters to do, man. They allow their daughters to be out all times of night, going here with this friend, going here with that friend. Man, it's just madness. Check this shit out.
Was married? Hold on. Did you know he was married?
Not hold on.
Did you know he was married?
If she's not gonna answer, why you keep
just be a
asking
grown up, girl. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm not. You look very young. Don't let him manipulate you. Don't let him do it. He still lives with me. He still lives with me. We're still married. We have a 15-year-old daughter together. If I were you, I would strongly stay away from him. Not because he's married, because he's lying to you. He's lying to you. I don't know what makes you think he's not lying to you. Everything what? I can't hear you. Yeah. Can you turn it down? So I can hear if you don't mind. What? You know?
You hear this shit? So this young chick, she knew that she was dealing with a married man. Right, the married man told her he got a wife, he got this, he got that, got a family, but she chose to still, deal with him, man. And this a 19-year-old chick, man, of course, who don't have any intentions of, being this man's second wife, man. This is why the scripture said, keep watch over shameless daughter, because she's obviously shameless, man. She don't have any shame in her game. She's shrugging her shoulders. She still, got that passive aggressive spirit. Like what she done, ain't a big deal. All right, like I said, man, this is a 19-year-old chick. Young. You can tell she's young. You can tell by the way she's acting, the way she's responding, man. All right, she looked pretty, young in the face. But this is what the land has fallen to. The land has fallen to order, man. 19-year-olds out here tricking. Barely, just damn graduated high school, and she already selling that box, man. This is why the scriptures give us instructions and give us guides on how to raise up our children in this truth, man. As a matter of fact, Let's grab Proverbs chapter 22. Let's start with that. Let's start with Proverbs 22:6. All right, this is the importance of this truth, man. You got Jake out here that's kicking against the pricks. They talking shit about the Israelites. Meanwhile, we trying to show you the ways of righteousness, man. Because without this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, without returning back to the ordinances and the old ways, we are fucking through, man. We are through as a people. Like I said, this is some out of line, out of pocket ass shit. Eve is through. Okay? Dealing with a damn 40, 50-year-old Edomite. This is Proverbs 22 and verse 6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. This is imperative, man. All right? Because your child growing up in your household, whatever examples that you're showing forth, that's what the child is going to see. The child isn't going to, think of you in a certain way because you're making yourself sound assertive, or you're making yourself sound like a good parent. You're making yourself sound like a good example. The child is going to do after what they see you doing, man. So if you grow up in the household, as a female, and you see your mother bringing in different men, you're going to think it's okay to damn deal with different men. Or if you damn grow up in a house and your father is a dope dealer, what do you think the young Jake is going to think is cool? He's going to think it's cool to be a dope dealer. All right, you hear Jake bragging about the shit in their music. Yeah, my daddy used to flip bricks. My daddy was a real nigga. Your daddy dead and gone, man. Or that nigga locked up. All right, can't even damn raise his damn grandchildren or raise you. A never-ending cycle, man. All right, because our people have fallen away from the ordinances of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. This is why we preach that it's important to return back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We're not saying that these things are what's going to save you, but these are the things that we are to uphold as a standard and as a guide, man. This is what governs us as a people to keep us in alignment with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because without the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and without the laws and statutes, we're just natural brute beasts like the other nations, man. All right, without laws, without order, and without guidance, man. All right, the laws, statutes, and commandments is what separates us from the rest of the nations, man. All right, this is what puts us above all other nations, like it says in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, man. Okay, but let's get it again. This is Proverbs 22 and 6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go. And the way that a child should go is in the way of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, which is the way that the parents should be going, man. All right, but you can't train up a child without the right curriculum. And the correct curriculum is this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, this truth. All right, it's like me being a NASCAR coach without experience. The only thing I can tell these niggas is to drive fast. All right, I'm not warning them about the dangers of what could happen if they go too far to the left, or if they go too far to the right, or if they slow down at the wrong time. I can't give them advice on that because I don't have experience in that. That's not the curriculum that I have. The same thing with these parents, man. If they're not equipped with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they're not going to be able to train up a child in the way that they should go. That's why you see oftentimes where there's a father in the household, but still the daughter ends up becoming a whore, or the son ends up becoming a gangbanger, man. All right? But we see it more often than not, with the fathers not being in the household, man. More times than often, the children are left with the mothers. And we know the mothers are nothing but westernized, feminists with a damn license to get abroad. AKA, a license to be a hoe. So like I said, if a daughter is growing up in a mother's household and she's seeing her be a whore, she's seeing her be a baddie, okay? Whenever they listen to the radio, they listen to nothing but Meg Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj and all these other hoes. What do you think the daughters are gonna grow up to be? Ding, 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 ding. A hoe, a 304, man. A jump off, a box seller, a box distributor. All right, just like this young girl, man. 19 is selling box. Bitch ain't even went and tried to get a job at Wendy's, man. And that's another thing. All right, that's why these women are at ease, because the so-called white man have made this cash flow so accessible to you, man. You could jump right out of high school and get on OnlyFans and start selling box, man. These women don't even have ambition no more to be anything in life. They just want to live luxuriously, man. That's why we need Yahweh Shai, man. We need Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, okay, to set this thing back right. These are the type of women, you know, that our sons would have to deal with in the upcoming future, man. And I'll be damned. You know? This is what the dating pool looks like in the time that we in. These young Jakes and these young Eves, they're not really looking for a long-term relationship. They're not looking for love anymore. Everything is just transactional. A IOU. That's it, man. Let's continue on.
You didn't know that he was married? He told you? And what did he tell you? That we were married? And let me guess, that we're divorced? So you're okay with... So he told you were married. Why did you go sleep with him? So you just spent the night at his house, but you... But why would you do that to yourself if you know he's married? Why would you do that to yourself? You're not the first, sweetheart. You're not. But
and she say she don't expect to be the first or the last. Like I say, ain't no shame in her game, man. You know? Ain't no shame in her game. Let's grab one more before it slip my mind. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 9. Right before the spirit pad. This Ecclesiasticus 3 and 9 to say, for the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children, but what? But the curse of the mother rooteth out foundation. Now, I could bet you my bottom dollar that this chick right here was raised in a single mother household, man. Like I said, she ain't even, did she try Wendy's, McDonald's? You know? No, she just jumped off the porch and went straight to selling box, man. This is why it's important for a father to be in the household. And to reiterate the important point that I made a little while ago, it can't be any damn a man. It has to be a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because the man of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai understands that he has to keep his daughter in straightly, man. He has to keep her ass in check, in line. A man of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai understands that he can't give his daughter over to little Fred, a little Pookie, a little Ray Ray from around the corner, man. He understands that he has to give his daughter to a righteous man. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's been from the beginning, man. A young woman, she's not supposed to be just going to and fro, jumping from rod to rod to rod, you know, while she's still in her parents' house, man. A woman is supposed to go from her father to her husband, and that's it. She's not even supposed to experience no other rod. She's not supposed to see another rod, think about another rod, or none of that, man. But we know that the time that we're living in right now, you know, these young females, man, they getting active at, 11, 12. And then they selling box by the age of damn 16, 17, man. All right, this shit is out of pocket. You know? One more time from the top, Ecclesiasticus 3 and 9, for the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundation. And that's enough said, man. Like when you go to Ezekiel, is that it's either Ezekiel 16 to 44. I don't want to misquote it. I believe it's 44 and 16. Okay, 16 to 44. Where it speaks about so is the mother, so is the daughter. Yeah, this is Ezekiel 16 and verse 44. It says, behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. All right, so if the mother is a whore, hey, 10 times out of 10, the daughter's going to become a whore. Okay, and that's knowing different men. And when I say knowing, that's going into these women jumping from rod to rod, man. All right.
But what draw you?
I don't know what you think me and George are.
So why did you spend the night then?
You were banging on the door.
Because why?
You were banging on the door all night.
But why though?
I don't know. That's between you and George. That's not between me and you.
But
That's between you and
why
George.
would you be there if he's married? That's my question. You're gonna sit here and tell me that you spent the night and you slept on the couch. That's not true. It's not, honey. Don't lie to me. But I'm telling you, as a grown-ass woman, you look very young, you're beautiful. Don't get your ass tied up with someone who's married. He's not gonna divorce me. He's not.
I don't want you to divorce.
But still, you should know better than that. Why would you go and stay the night at a married man's house?
That's not his fault.
That's not his house. You're right. It's his mom's, which is worse.
George been pillow talking and telling her everything, man. You know. But this shit out of pocket. This is somebody's daughter, man. You know, while the father probably somewhere, you know, locked up, dead, damn busting off in another Eve, man. All right, these jakes, damn, they lay their seed, man, and they just don't give a damn, man. And these women could do better at picking their partners. You know, Eve, she go for the typical Fred, Pookie, Lil JoJo. These are the typical men that Eve go for, man. They love that thrill. They love the charisma and the living life on the edge. Until the damn seed comes forth, and they're no longer there to take care of the damn children, man. Now they want to go on a rampage talking about how they hate men, or how men are not shit. Not taking accountability for the type of men that she's been choosing, but placing the blame on men as a whole. You know, generalizing all men. That's why the Lord said he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. And that man is talking about a man of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You women going to realize that you really have been bamboozled, man. The so-called white man have given you the illusion of freedom, all right? So you can run around calling yourselves feminists. You can run around calling yourselves bad bitches and independent women. When all of that is just word salad and you know, cover up, basically to just being a damn hoe, man. They like to call, you know, dressing naked and being over-sexualized. They like to call that shit women empowerment. All of these different words, all of these different movements have been put in place, all right, to basically separate you from the family nucleus, man, the traditional family. The so-called white man have bamboozled you to make you think that the traditional family is bondage, is slavery. You being a traditional wife is slavery. That's why it's important for the fathers, the men of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, to be in the daughters' lives. Let's grab that in Ecclesiasticus. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 42. And let's start at verse 9. It say, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. All right, because the father's gonna make sure everything is good. You know, he'll lose sleep if he has to when it comes to protecting and watching over his daughter and his son, his children, period. It says, when she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. Right now, a young woman is not supposed to pass the flower of her age while she's living in her parents' houses. But like I said, in the time that we in, these young girls are discovering themselves at the age of 11 and 12, man. They damn they passing the flower of their age, and just getting active before they even get out the house, man. That's not how it's supposed to be. And that's because of the devices that have come into the world, man. Everything is advanced. The young generation are growing up fast because of the social media. They're not even supposed to be experiencing and knowing about half the shit that they know about, man. But that's because we're under a wicked rulership. The so-called white man is purposely pushing Sexy Red and Cardi B off on the young women so they can be overly sexualized at a young age, okay? And be out here being hoes, man. They don't promote that garbage to their daughters, okay? But here it says, when she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. Verse 10, in her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house, and having an husband, lest she should misbehave herself, and when she is married, lest she should be barren. Verse 11, keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies, and a byword in the city, and a reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. All right, and this young Eve right here is making somebody ashamed. I know this Edomite woman is wondering, who the fuck raised this little girl, man? Because she don't have any shame. Like I said, she's not sorry. She don't have no pity. She's not disgusted with herself, And this is because the so-called white men have given these women liberty to get abroad. The liberty to get abroad, to do what they want, to go trick off, to go be harlots, all right, and to not feel shamed about it. All right, the scripture says the wicked knoweth no shame. When you go to Zephaniah, I believe it's in the 3rd chapter. These women don't know any shame when it comes to committing adultery. They'll sleep with they damn homegirl's husband. Some of these chicks are damn sleep with they mother's boyfriend. Man. And then, like I said, she's in the spirit of, not being ashamed. She don't care. She act like she ain't did nothing wrong. The scriptures say, she wipe her mouth and say, what evil have I done? Let's go to Proverbs. Let's grab that. I mean, she just sitting there nonchalant, man. Like I said, this is somebody's daughter, man. That's an embarrassment. This is Proverbs 30 and verse 18. There be 3 things which are too wonderful for me, yea, 4 which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. Look at her. She said she ain't did no wickedness.
Which is worse. So why would you go over there? Why would you get dropped off? Why would you even get picked up? Look at this man. He's 50 years old, staying with his mom. How long have you known him? How long have you known him?
I gotta go.
Okay, I'm warning you. Stay away from him. Not because of me, not because I'm mad at you or I hate you. None of that. This man will fuck your life up. I'm warning you. I seriously am warning you. He will fuck your life up. Stay away from him. He's no good. You are too pretty to be fucking with almost a 50-year-old man. I know my husband of 18 years. Don't let him fuck you up. Stay away from him.
Man, Eve don't give a damn how old that motherfucker is, man. You know, she getting that chick. She getting that, you know, she chasing that bag. You know, that's all that matter to these women, man. All these women care about is chasing the bag. You know, and they gonna chase that bag until they get put in one. You know, that body bag. You know, the Lord ain't playing, man. The Lord is pouring out judgment in these last days. And, you know, this right here is a perfect example to go to show you that, you know, these women, they just living in pleasure, man. Like I say in Timothy, you know, she that liveth in pleasure is what? She's dead while she living. You know, she's doing all of these lewd acts, sleeping with a 50-year-old Edomite, man, just to get the bag. Man, that damn shameless goddamn daughter, man. I'm gonna grab one more and I'm gonna close it out. Like I said, man, you know, to reiterate the point, which is the main point of this lesson, this is why we need to get the hell up out of here, man. Okay? When we go into lessons like this and we show y'all judgment and different things, it's for the spirit to get on you, you know, to say that enough is enough, man. You know, we need to get the hell up out of here. There's no order in Babylon the Great. There's no moral standard. There's no moral compass here in Babylon the Great, man. Everything goes. Just the land of the freaks, man. You know? This is Ecclesiastes 26, and let's go down to verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straightly. If you see her starting to go to the left, go to the right, or any other way that you would, you know, not have her go, hey, you gotta get her straight, man. Verse 10 again, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straightly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And that's exactly what has happened with the so-called black woman. Okay? The so-called white man have given her overmuch liberty. Like I said, straight out of high school, these young thoughts could just jump on OnlyFans, man, and start selling box. They don't even gotta walk the streets no more. They could just sell the box virtually online, man. The box is virtually accessible. And the so-called white man made this possible, man. But you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans got the audacity to fix your mouth up to say that we the problem, we what's wrong with the world, man. You know? Verse 11, watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Don't be surprised, man. This is the generation that we live in. The Lord told us that our women would be harlots. Verse 12, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. You know what that means, you know? She gonna give access to that box. All right? And this is sad, man. You know, at such a young age, 19, man, she ain't even discovered life yet. Probably got over 10 bodies before she even left her mother's house, man. Ain't no telling how many abortions she had. And she dealing with a 50-year-old Edomite, she got some experience, man. You know? But this is what we need to be saved from. Alongside a lot more other out of order ass shit, man. You know? But hey, it is what it is. Us as the hopeful elect, you know, we know why we're calling upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We know why we crying to the Lord for the abominations that's being done in the earth, man. And this is part of the abomination right here. This is some abominable ass shit. All right? But that's all, man. You know, Eve is gonna be Eve. All right, like I said, this is just to go to show you, man. And hopefully the spirit is on you, you know, that you ready to get the hell up out of here, man. All right, but I'm gonna give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to you, Akim. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Shalom, wa abba, babal.